Well, good morning. This will probably be about the, I don't know, 20th time I've tried to make this video. I have just not been successful for one reason or another. Whether it be video, audio, weather, just the cards have been stacked against me. Anyway, just wanted to make a really quick video about my Shoei RF SR. I know there's videos out there already about this helmet, but I'm just going to offer my perspective because this would be my first premium helmet. Now, before you question my my ability to judge such a helmet, it's like this. I don't own a $150,000 luxury car, but I can tell you that my 2015 Toyota Highlander is pretty nice. So coming from that perspective, I have had pretty much crap up until this point. Just a real short history. The helmets that I've had were the AFX 37, AFX 39, the Built Discovery, pretty much all dual sport helmets. Of the three, the Built Discovery was actually the best of the three, but that's not saying much. They were all terribly loud in hindsight. So without further ado, and in no particular order, this is what I find that I like about the Shoei. The first thing I would say is the finish. The finish is pretty much the same. The finish is pretty much the same as my AFX 39 as far as the color and the texture, albeit it's a lot better quality. When you rub your hands on the AFX, you feel all the little dimples and things. On this one, you don't. On this one, you rub your hand across it, it's just a quality finish. Just nice. The fitment. You know, you hear the term true to size. Now, without any real context to what that means, you really don't know what that means. It's like true to size meaning what? You wear a large on one brand, so you're going to get a large for another. You're generally size large. What? So to me, what that means is that I went to the Shoei website, I used their chart, measured my head, ordered the helmet, and it was true to size. So yes, this is absolutely true to size. The next would be the visor and the opening. It's almost as if they built this helmet around the opening. It is absolutely perfectly cut out. When you got a great field of view here. When you have to turn left, you don't have to really turn your head that far to make sure you're clear over there or to the right, whatever. But with the AFX, specifically my last AFX, because of the contour of the shield, when you opened it, it would kind of come like this, and it would be like this. And so you would have shield in your field of view always. And when you had it all the way up, it was just right here. It wasn't out of the way like this one. This one goes way up, and the whole thing is out of your way. And just very nice. The shield also came with the pin lock system. Now, until I started actually doing research on the Shoei, I'd never heard of the pin lock system. And when I first got the helmet, I did not install it. But then a couple days later, as it started to get a little colder, my shield started fogging up. So I installed the pin lock, and wow, what a difference. This thing does not fog up whatsoever. My glasses fog up, but not the shield. Now, a little side note to the pin lock system. This is not a criticism of the pin lock, because if anything, it's a testament to just how good it is. But about a week ago, I took my shield off, and I washed the shield, and I washed the pin lock. I let them dry. I didn't have a whole lot of time. I let them dry for a good, I don't know, half hour. But it was cold, and I put it back on, and there was probably moisture caught in there. So on the way home, it was cold, it was nighttime, no sun whatsoever. It fogged up like crazy, and it only fogged up inside the pin lock system. So again, it's not because of the pin lock malfunctioning, it's because I allowed moisture to be trapped inside the pin lock. So the damn seal on that is pretty good. It definitely does its job. The venting, pretty much every helmet you buy, when you read all the brochures or you look at the ad, they're going to tell you how fantastic their venting system is. It's going to have umpteen vents that promote you know, air movement through the helmet. Now, every single helmet I have had, I have never ever felt venting coming through, despite what they claim, and always having them open, that sort of thing. Now, small disclaimer, I wear a balaclava 100% of the time. Doesn't matter how hot, how cold, I always wear the balaclava. So, I always thought that maybe that was it. But, when I got this helmet, on the very first ride, I didn't even go that fast. I probably went up to about 40 miles an hour. I immediately felt the air coming through. I literally had to do a double take and say, well, wait a minute, is that really air, or is there a bug stuck in my balaclava? So I shut the vents, and the air was gone. I opened it, and it was back. So it was definitely the venting from the helmet. So impressive airflow through this helmet. And probably, perhaps, the biggest great thing about this helmet is the noise. Now, like I said before, the helmets that I've had have always been terribly noisy, in hindsight. I thought, I really couldn't conceptualize how this helmet could be so much quieter when I read or watched reviews. I just figured, well, wait a minute, it's a helmet. It's got a giant hole to stick your head in, and it can't be that quiet, that much quieter. But here's what I would say. If you go down the freeway and you're having a conversation and the windows are up, that's the Shoei. You roll down the windows and carry on that conversation, that's everything else that I've had. So, it's quiet. I'm a believer now. They did a fantastic job making this thing quiet. Now, there are certain times where it is still pretty loud, and that's when it's really windy. And that could also be because of my shield here. I'm trying to figure out the best position for that shield, and so far, I guess it is all the way up. But the shield's not large enough, really, to make that big of a difference on the in the air coming around. But if someone was to ask me if they should buy this helmet, if I recommend it, I would say absolutely, hands down, buy the helmet if the $400 purchase price is your budget. I would say skip everything else. Now, that doesn't mean there's not better helmets out there. I'm just saying, if you have the 400 and you are considering buying this helmet, I would say absolutely go for it. The only thing that I would say is make sure it fits the shape of your head and make sure it fits properly. Other than that, everything about it is good quality. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up a couple points that I think could see some improvement. And they're not major, but they're just little annoyances at times. But the first one would be the little strap here, the little snap. The other end is way up in there. If they were just to bring it down a quarter of an inch, of an inch, I should say. It would be probably easier to snap in there. Sometimes, depending on the gloves I wear, I get a hard time sticking it in there and lining it up. But, you know, not a deal breaker. Just like I said, it's an annoyance. The other thing is I like to ride with my shield open. Not now because it's way too cold, but in the summertime, the springtime, I love having the shield open. And in this case, I'm going to open up the shield right now. I'm going to show you what I hear and what I have to do to make it quiet. Here it goes. So, you probably heard the whirring sound. Now, it's not terrible. I mean, it's just, like I said, it's an annoyance, but the only way I can shut it up is by either shutting the visor or sticking my head down. And I can't do that for obvious reasons. But I don't know if that can even be fixed, or whether it's something they could easily fix with some sort of variation on the shield or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, that is pretty much it. That is the review of this helmet. Overall, fantastic. I do not regret the purchase one bit. If I crashed and had to buy a new helmet, I would go right back and buy this exact same helmet because it is perfect as far as I'm concerned. I hope this helped you if you were considering buying this helmet. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye.